Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and when I get done with this video, I'm going to go and I'm going to put in the crock pot, I'm doing beef tips, low and slow. If you like cooking, the best things are always low temp and slow cook them, in my opinion. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. One of my hobbies is at least once or twice a week, I like to just go on YouTube and find recipes, things I've never cooked before, and make them. And so this one I planned to do yesterday. I was planning it, so that's what I'm working on after this video, just so you know. Check this out. This video is going around this morning, and I can smell something cooking as far as a shift in this whole Bitcoin Ethereum narrative. This girl right here is from the Digital Pound Foundation.
Can't access that anyway. I think that it has significance, though, on a wider scale, because if it paves the way to the introduction of ETH ETFs, for example, and things like that, then it ultimately leads investors to question why they want exposure to the underlying asset. And that's going to be for different reasons. So for Bitcoin, for example, although it is a terrible means of payment due to its volatility, I think it's going to cast the spotlight on more on the question of why is Bitcoin deemed to be a valuable asset? What purpose does it actually serve?
Wait a minute, you mean the question we've been asking for 5+ years?
And what purpose will it serve on an ongoing basis?
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't work. And neither does Ethereum.
I think the case is more evident for those of us who understand how DLT and blockchain works and what it can be used for.
When you hear DLT, think XRP and XLM.
Because it's clear there that if you're exposing yourself to ETH, then you're basically taking a bet on the utility of the Ethereum blockchain. So I think there's going to be some interesting questions there. I mean, Bitcoin, despite the fact that most of us would say it's a terrible store of value and it's terrible as a means of payment, it is actually used for those purposes in some parts of the world where, people's currencies are even worse. And so it does have utility in that respect. But I think as more ETFs are created on different underlying cryptocurrencies or baskets of cryptocurrencies, then there is going to be more analysis of what the value of those blockchains are, especially now that they're coming into the realm of, the regulated investment world, who do have the analysts who are going to look at this in more depth and look at the inherent value and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm in what I am a maximalist in is that the SWIFT system and kind of the banking interchange systems are going away, and that the entire world will be on, a blockchain.
What could he be talking about? The SWIFT system is going away.
Interchange type system. I don't think there's going to be one chain that rules them all. I think, I just watched a really interesting, story about, Netscape had 98% of the browser market, in the early 90s, and they're not in existence today. So first mover advantage isn't always what's needed, even though right now Ethereum is being able to capture that.
Oh my goodness, folks. And so now the question is, Digital Pound Foundation, obviously, they can see through the whole Bitcoin Ethereum thing, but what are they interested in? Well, Ripple is all over their X feed. So is Quant, even Electronium. But Ripple has been all involved with the Digital Pound Foundation. And here, Circle has also been all involved with the Digital Pound Foundation, almost like they know something we don't know. And by the way, on the Link2 platform, who is one of my sponsors, they have Ripple and Circle private equity. If you are one of the adults in the room and want to check it out, last time I checked, there was some left of both of them, not a lot. Okay, but I can see the narrative shifting. This is CNBC. Now, out of all these years that CNBC has been propping up the Bitcoin Ethereum narrative, I've never heard them say anything like this.
I think you think Bitcoin is real, right? My question now is it's become mainstream to the point of ETFs. I think it's to be harder to go higher quickly now. Unlike it was supposed to be that everyone can get in now, and that all the ETF companies are going to need to buy Bitcoin to put it in the ETFs. To me, it's like if you bought it at $800 or $8,000. You were smart. You went through a lot of trouble to buy it. Now everyone can buy it. I think it's going to be here for a while.
There's not going to be a whole new financial story driving it from the side of buyers necessarily. Although there's one type of buyer that could be very important here. AI agents are going to start doing a lot of things in our economy. And for AI agents to coordinate with incentive systems, they're probably going to use crypto. And so if this AI story works out in certain consumer areas, especially...
And then tokenizes everything.
To AI, Do you, Kathy Wood, 500,000, $1 million... And that's I can't believe any. Yeah, but
they're not going to be trading Bitcoin. They might be using Ethereum. They might be using Solana. They might be using other things that they can tokenize.
Those are the three they might use, and they're probably all correlated at the end of the day. And the 500,000 story.
Boy, are they pushing? You think it's a coincidence they have added Solana to their whole lie, the media narrative?
For me, no. Joe, it's more about the macro question. Are we going to be in a massive deficit in 25 and 26 and spending money willy-nilly, irresponsibly? If so, what asset's safe? I mean, if you have inflation come up again.
XRP. And then out of nowhere, we had this yesterday. Bitcoin is a U.S., I don't say that letter out here. We say it in the private group. This is the conclusion reached by cryptographers who provided the first evidence that Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, is former drug lord and informant of U.S. intelligence agencies Paul Leroy. Users discovered that Nakamoto's first transaction, deciphered as "this transaction was made by Paul Leroy," and to Hal Finney in January 12, 2009, his whereabouts are unknown. And they're saying this is the guy right here. And I don't know anything about all those tracking things and all. But eGrag Crypto, he doesn't seem worried. En route to $27. Remember that post from August 29th? Our journey to $27 is still on. What's going on? I get it. 90% of the XRP army is feeling the fatigue and frustration. Come on, folks. And he's calling it deja vu from 2017. I've seen this movie now at least, 20 to 50 times. I have been holding this XRP since 2013, 14, somewhere in there, okay? I've always believed in what the bigger picture is, and for that reason, I don't sit around getting frustrated about what these pullbacks and all this stuff. What I see when I'm looking at all this is I see something that if XRP is what I've always thought it was, which I believe it is, it's not something that would happen overnight. But when it did happen, in other words, it might take some time for them to turn this thing on. But when it did happen, it would be like, whoa, that just happened. You can see everything lining up. The Bitcoin ETF, the talk that's going on now, you can just see you can just feel it. The change that's going on. Then you got this from Gemini. They were joking, like making all these tweets about XRP the last 2 days. Then they announced XRP Perpetual contracts. I don't understand why they're not just listing XRP or doing both, because it says only offering XRP spot trading, and then it says XRP. So maybe they're doing both. I don't know. I'm assuming that means they're doing both, the way I read that, but who knows? We'll see. Then you had this from Eleanor Terrett, new. Binance lawyer says he believes DAO tokens constitute an investment contract given the voting power structure that's allotted to the customers based on the token ownership. And then we had this. The SEC is now saying that they were SIM swapped when that fake announcement about the Bitcoin ETFs happened, that they were SIM swapped. Here's the problem, folks. they got their account back like within minutes. And being someone who has lost their X account, I can tell you it's not easy to get it back in 20 minutes. In fact, if the SEC got it back in 20 minutes from a SIM swap, let's think this over for a second. A SIM swap means somebody takes over your cell phone. I just get a very BS vibe off of this whole thing. He says, how did they get the account back in under 20 minutes? And then this guy, who's an ex-SEC guy, he says they charged Elon with fraud a few years back. Maybe they have his direct dial. I would imagine if I was Elon Musk, I would have changed my number if they had my number. But maybe they had his direct dial. And I retweeted this and I said, well, this reminds me of that time when the SEC lied about the Hinman speech being his personal opinion for over a year in court while Ripple was spending money to defend against the lie. And then they admitted that that wasn't the case, and they changed it. They changed it, I think, like 2 or 3 times. At one point, it was the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance, but it started as the opinion of Bill Hinman only until everybody found out that he had been emailing it around with people in his division. And then they changed it. So they lied. So my point is, Mark, once you're a liar, you're a liar, right? So why should we believe them about this? Especially when you're willing to lie in court, which they did. Which is why that the entire agency needs to be revamped. Introducing our newest speaker, Brad Garlinghouse is going to be at the Digital Assets Summit in London, March 18th to March 20th. Then we have this from Brian Costello. I like this prediction. He predicts Gary Gensler is doing what he's doing at the SEC to shield China is so beyond acceptable, we'll likely see him make a quick exit soon. He'll be seeking distance, aware that a shift in White House is on the horizon. Wow, that would be groundbreaking. And look at this. Digital Perspectives, who's putting on XRP Las Vegas, which is going to be bigger than it was last year. He's putting out these videos where it's like promo videos where he shows you some different things that are going to be going on. By the way, in the description of this video is the link to, if you want to get tickets to XRP Las Vegas. If you want to get a discount on the tickets, go to daixrp.com, join the group. Here's the promo by Brad Combs.
If you want it, my opponents ever on it. I ain't thinking about tomorrow, only thinking about the moment. Feel the work from the workshop. Honey's in my loaded switch.
Rooms are filling up. It's at the MGM Grand. David Schwartz will be there.
But one thing that I really like is I think you'll see a lot more of these neo-banking type of services come into play. I think you will start to be able to use your crypto portfolio to have a debit card and pay, or you'll be able to send money. You know, I could send money to Fabio or crypto to Fabio, just like I send Venmo today.
We'll be there. Go. Exciting times. Now, in daixrp.com, I'm going to show you something that really shocked me, and I just can't, I can't even believe that this is where our country is. But I'm going to show you something that really shocked me, and it makes me angry, sick to my stomach, and it should make you the same, and I think it will. Then I'm going to show you something else that should make you sick, make you really question. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. daixrp.com. Check it out. Here we go.